Hey, this is Josh at Apex Overland. We're gonna walk through the 1995 Troopy that we just got done on our section of the build of. So here's what we did. All right, so let me open up the back here because we did a sleep/storage system in the back. So the interior system we did on this Troopy is a Klarman. It comes from overseas. It's a full interior replacement. Let me go through some of the features that it has. So you get a nice little cubby right here. You get full length drawers on both the left and the right. You get 4 individual drawers right here with some tabletop pullouts. So if you are sitting in it and you want to eat, then here you go. This Troopy is kind of cool because it has the IU cab roof conversion on it, which I really need to open up so you can really see what this is meant for. So a little more room. So you have the 4 drawers that all open up independently. You got your pull-out countertop here, full wood countertop there. Right here is really cool. You got one of the Travel Buddy heaters, so you can put little pot pies and such in there, your hot pockets and stuff going down the road. You have a big storage box right here. So you can see the heaters there. We'll talk about that in a second. It's a big storage box. Up front, you have another one. Underneath there is the batteries, but I just have the portable solar panel kit in there right now. And then we have another empty storage unit right here. Side of that, you have your full fridge. He chose to go with a Snowmaster. And here's your full control panel. So we added US 110 because again it comes overseas. So they're using, I believe, the 220, 240. So we modified that to use the 110 here in the States. All the power you need, all the controls you need for everything. And then everything electrical wise is controlled by Victron. It's a really cool system. It shows what's going in and what's going out. So right now the solar panel on the roof is pulling in 244 watts, which is pretty dang awesome, because the whole roof we put a big massive solar panel on. We installed a Webasto heater on it, so the control I put right there. And we'll talk about some stuff we changed since it's been in our hands, since it's been out of the box. All right, so one thing we changed was the Webasto heater that now lives underneath this pan was supposed to go under the main unit here, but he has an additional water tank in the middle of this truck, and getting the Webasto heater and everything out, physically impossible. You just can't get to it. So I moved it under this cabinet here, made the intake come out back here for the fresh air. The intake and the exhaust for the actual burning portion of the heater are underneath the truck. We moved the vent over to this location that spins 360 degrees so you can aim it wherever you want. And then I made him a tray so he can put gloves and socks and items like that can just stay warm. You kind of want your socks and your gloves warm in the winter. I also made some block off panels so stuff just doesn't get lost into the abyss in there. For electrical, part of the electrical system was using Red Arc, which we love Red Arc. So we had to mess with some of that. We had to clean up some of the wiring. As I was told, this was like one of the first, if not the first, prototype unit. So The wiring and stuff has been fixed and the plumbing has been fixed since then, but we had to mess with all of that and clean that up and get that to work and route it just a more intelligent way, because again, this is one of the first, if not one of the first ones. Everything's ran off the Victron system and I think it's an Egon system as well for electric. All that's hidden under there. It would take me about an hour to get to that stuff, so we're not going to show you that stuff today. But what I can show you is in front of the passenger seat, which is on the left-hand drive of this, of what it has. So that's the Egon system. That's essentially the fuse box of the whole operation. You can see right here, he has a hot water outlet for the shower. That's an air port for airing up. And then down here is what's called the dirty inlet. So you can have water out of a creek, a bucket, what have you, and it will suck the water into the camper if you can't fill it up from the ports on the side. There's our red arc controller we were talking about. That's the solar panel hookup, and then there's how you control the temperature of your hot water, because the hot water itself, the heater is right behind here. So driver's side here, air up again for this side, and then that right there is just water. It's not hot water, it's just water that comes out from the tank underneath. On the interior, we have lights here that come with the camping system, but they are really cool. So these lights here, there, and then you can also turn them yellow. Some of the stuff that we have added to this are the 110 outlets, what I've talked about already, but we added shore power down here. So we had them in a nice plug on the back of the truck here. So you shouldn't do this, but if he were to back it in, plug it up to shore power and drive off, then the cord would have come unplugged and wouldn't break the cord. Also with moving the Webasto heater, we cut in our own intake vent right here. This is again the intake for the air that actually comes out. Underneath is the Webasto exhaust with the muffler, and then the intake for the combustion chamber is over here. We put the fuel pump over here. I made him a nice aluminum skid for his fuel pump so you can actually access it with a nice service loop on everything, so it's super easy to get to in the future. We rerouted a lot of the plumbing, so the hot water would be on the passenger side or the left-hand side for his shower, because it was plumbed for the right side. Shifted the air tank in there a little bit just so the lines weren't kinked as much, and then just had to redo a lot of electrical. Again, one of the first ones, if not the first one that they made. We just had to mess with all that, and then some of the wiring just wasn't quite right. So that's just one of the things we do here. We fix wiring and fix other things that just happen to not work. So, but it's turned out great. Hopefully he gets this the next day or two. He's very local to us. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. So I do like this system. It's really nicely laid out and everything. My only suggestion would be if you live in the United States and you can order this whole system. I'm not affiliated with Carlman or not, but if you can, order it without any of the electronics, any of the water pump, any of the water heaters, any of that. Order the basic system, because what we ran into was, this is from South Africa, Australia, what have you, and they don't have the same stuff that we have here in the States. For instance, the Red Arc, the charge controllers on it, we can't get those here in the US. So finding even the paperwork for them, or like the installation instructions, luckily it's the same as like the BC50, BCDC 50 that we have here, or DCDC 50, whatever it's called. Luckily it's the same, so we had to wire some of that stuff up. The water fittings in the States here, we have standard, so 3/8. This stuff is metric, so finding that was a pain. Had to order some stuff from overseas and pay for that, just to get stuff to work. So little intricate stuff like that. I do like the electrical system and all of this, but personally speaking, I would have gone Red Arc over everything. A Manager 30, the Red Vision with the screen, the inverter, all that stuff, I would have gone straight Red Arc, and been able to get it serviced here in the US, get parts if you need them. That's some future thinking that I just think of when I'm working on stuff. It's like, this is really cool. The cabinets and stuff themselves, there's nothing crazy with them. They're not gonna break. You can get all these latches here. It's all that other stuff. We just can't get serviced here in the US. So if you can order this, if you have a Troopy here in the US, if you can order this without any of the electrical or water systems, do that. Get a shop like here at Apex Overland to add our own stuff and wire it in yourself. So again, you can get the stuff you need. Even to the batteries we can't get here in the US. They are two 200 amp hour batteries that are lithium, but it's a brand I can't get. No one can get here in the States. He had to import them and pay like a hefty fee for that. Can't do that. Even down to the Webasto heater, believe it or not. The Webasto heater, that unit couldn't find the manual for it in English. So had to go pictures, had to scroll through a bunch of different Webasto things to figure out what went where, as far as like the wiring. Again, they're simple heaters to wire up, but it's not a model we could get here in the US as far as the wiring goes. So I had to figure that on the fly. Just, I think a lot of little things like that. And yeah, so again, love the camper system. I would just change the wiring and how the electronics are ran, and then the water pumps and stuff. So, and even like the water pump, or the water heater, I should say. The water heater's a 12 volt and a 240 volt. We don't have 240 here normal, so you can get a normal one from here in the States for 110 12 volt. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This was an awesome build. I really like this thing. It's really cool. Not for me personally, because we got kids and you can only fit 2 people up front. So, but yeah,